Hey everybody, it's Amy Gretchen. A big welcome to the beginning of the December daily videos for 2022. Today I am working on day one, and I just wanted to give a disclaimer that you're not going to see a title page video from me just because I didn't end up filming it. Though I did film it, but it's not going to be the title page. So I'm going to use it somewhere else in my album. So you will see what I filmed, but I've got something different in my title page, and I will talk about that as we go along with day one. But right now, day one, let's jump into it. I am telling the story about how we went and got our Christmas tree. This is something that I think this is day one every time. If not, it's day one, it's like day two. And I think it's because getting the tree actually kind of sets off the Christmas explosion in the house, right? That's when we start to decorate, and that's just when it begins to feel like Christmas. I know a lot of people are decorating before Thanksgiving, and I wait till after Thanksgiving, and this is one of our big traditions, and this is one of the reasons why. So let's hop back onto the screen and talk about what I am doing. So both of these cards that I have here, these ephemera pieces, came from past crepe paper collection. I can't remember which collection it was. I don't think that they are available anymore, but as some of you might be aware, and maybe some of you are not aware, American Crafts actually has all of their collections, like any collection that they do, in a digital form. So if you are interested in looking at some of this, like some of the Maggie Holmes, or you name it, it's on there. So I years ago had purchased a couple of them. I know I have Merry Days. This one is not from Merry Days. I can't remember what it's from, but I had it in digital form. And one of my biggest issues as I was working on that is I felt like the card just seemed so big and overwhelming to the page. Now I kind of liked it putting the number on it. I thought that was actually really cute. But it just seemed like it was kind of taking over the photo onto the right, and I don't know. I didn't love it. I actually don't mind it here on the screen, and that often happens. But for whatever reason, when I was working on it that day, thought it was too big. So I actually just went to my computer. And if you guys want to see how I easily find the digital files that I have, I would love to do a video on that for you, because it has really transformed the way that I use my digital products, because I can actually find them now. But I just went and started looking to see if Allie had anything, if Paislee Press had anything, any Christmas digital that I had that was a car. And I realized, I actually have the American Crafts digital kit. And this card comes in the kit in a blue and also in a pink. I went with a yellow, but I do end up turning it to pink because I felt like the pink, I felt like it went with it better than the yellow for some reason. I didn't have to change it, but I did, and you'll see that at the end. So I've got the car. I realized I love the car, want to use the car, but now I'm figuring out like how I want to add the number. I feel like this is one of my biggest design hurdles. If I don't think about it before, like as I'm working, like how am I going to add this number? How am I going to add this number? So, I could have just done that and made it really simple. But for whatever reason, I struggled with just having that number sitting there floating. I don't know why, you guys, don't ask me. I think it looks fine, but in the moment, right? In the moment. And I will tell you, okay, first of all, before I tell you this other story, that stitched piece that I was putting onto the back of the photo, that is my title card. So that is the thing that I told you about that I didn't end up filming. And I think I didn't film it because I was literally figuring it out as I was going along. And also because I did the all is calm, all is bright stitch file that I did put on my YouTube. And it's basically the same thing, it's just different words. So anyway, that's one of the reasons why you won't see it. But if you want to see the technique that I use, you can go ahead and check out that video. And I will have it linked below also. So the story that I was going to tell you guys, and one of the reasons why I feel like I was almost a little distracted as I was working on this and I couldn't remember the exact design that I wanted to do, is because I was on the phone with my internet provider because I'd lost my internet, because I was trying to put online a printer that I have never been, since I moved into this house on April, I have never been able to get it on my Wi-Fi. And so I was talking to Canon, which is what this printer is. I was talking to Canon and they had me do something with my router that totally reset my router. So I did not have the internet. So I was on the phone talking with Xfinity as I was working on this. Not a problem because I kept getting put on hold, right? So I'm just working through it, and I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be great. I'll put like pattern paper behind it. And you can see me looking through all the pads of pattern paper. Most of this pattern paper is through crepe paper. But at one point, I realized, I think it was kind of at the end, I was going to punch holes actually in the vellum. And I'm like, wait a minute. How was I going to do this with the vellum? Because originally when I designed it, I was like, okay, I'll put the vellum on top and whatever. But because the photo's on the left side, if I punch the holes and have the vellum on the left side, then, when you turn the page to page 1, you're going to have the vellum backwards. So the words are going to be backwards and it's not going to be front until you, flip the page, and then you can see how it was intended to be. And I was like, wait a minute, how did I design this? Because I would have known that because normally when I design, or when I have ideas, I put it all on paper and I put all the elements on paper so I can kind of figure out how it's going to move in the album. So I would have caught that, but I'm on the phone, I'm having this conversation. I could not figure out how I thought about doing this. And then later I realized my idea was to actually stitch the vellum onto the photo. So it was just kind of an interesting thing that I was, trying to put this together under a slight duress, not a lot of duress. Obviously, I knew my internet was going to get fixed and stuff like that, but I was on the phone and I was very irritated that it even happened, because you guys realize when the internet gets changed, and I should have done it smarter. I should have made sure that he used my exact, the number for my Wi-Fi, that he used the exact name, I should say name, to my Wi-Fi. And he ended up putting it in a little bit different. And so I had to literally go through and add it to everything. And I have a few things in my house that are automated. Like I have a few lights, all of my Apple products, my phone, anyway, it literally took hours because, some of these lights and things are easy to do right out of the box, but it's really hard to do. In fact, I have a couple Puras. Have you guys heard of Puras? I have a couple of those and I still haven't been able to get those online. This happened on Friday. So it was very frustrating, but we'll get there, you guys. Anyway, I did figure it out, but here we go. Okay, so we are jumping in time, and I will also tell you another story, which I think is really interesting. Once I realized that, I was going to stitch the vellum on the back, I was like, I think it would be really fun to put glitter in between. Where is that star glitter that I used a few years ago? This star glitter I have not seen since I moved in 2020, the first time before I moved to Seattle. I went on a manhunt in my studio for this glitter and I couldn't find it anywhere, and I was really frustrated. And so I stopped working on this page. And what I ended up doing is doing an overhaul on my studio, which, by the way, I will share in 2023 if you're interested in what it looks like. But I started going through every single basket, every single nook and cranny in my studio, and getting rid of stuff that I don't use. Like I just started organizing, which is really strange because I'm literally in the middle of day 1 on December daily. So I did that on Friday night and I went to bed at like 3 a.m. and I feel so much better. But then on Saturday I came back and I finished it because you guys, clearly you can see that I found the glitter and I was just about ready to go buy some more. You can get it from Michael's. I don't even know if they still sell it. Like I said, I've had it for a while, but anyway, one more thing that I want to share with you is I literally got to my sewing machine and I still had my title page stuck onto my photo and I almost stitched those two together, and I would have been so bummed because I wouldn't have been able to redo that. Anyway, I realized it ahead of time and took it off, but just at the nick of time. Anyway, you guys, I feel like this was all over the place. And I also clearly did not get it filmed how I went from red paper to green paper for the number, but there you go. I went from red paper to green paper. So anyway, you guys, that is it. Hopefully you like the real life stuff going on behind the scenes instead of just the pretty picture of the finished product. Hopefully that's fun for you guys, because day 2 is also a doozy. I think there's like 4 versions of day 2. We'll see, because I kept messing up. But anyway, that is going to be a video for later on this week, so you have something to look forward to. Thank you guys so much for being here. As always, if you like what you saw, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more from me, just hit that subscribe button. All right, you guys, we will see you in the next December daily video. Thanks again. Bye.